Hi, Journalism 120. This is a video for media law and ethics. So first thing you need to know is about libel. And when I refer to libel, I mean both slander and libel. I'm using libel as an umbrella term for slander, which is broadcast or spoken, and libel, which is print. So for our purposes, libel is the umbrella term. And the characteristics of libel are four. First of all, it defames somebody, whatever you've written or said. It identifies that person. It is published. And finally, it is false. So you can defame people in this country, and you can do it by name or in a way that makes it so that people know exactly who you're talking about. You can even publish this stuff. We can publish bad things about people. I'm not saying we should, but we can. If it is true, if it's false in this country, those people who you've said something bad about that is false have some recourse. They can sue you for libel. So how do you defend yourself against libel? And, it used to be that only journalists really needed to know this because we were the only ones who were getting published. But now, even if you don't plan on being a journalist, you do use social media. So you need to know these things too. So how do you defend yourself against a claim of libel? Number one defense is provable truth. If you can prove that what you've said is true, you're golden. You don't have to worry about libel. The second thing is privilege, absolute and qualified. So if you are somebody who's participating in what I call sacred spaces like a court of law or the floor of Congress, things like that, where we want free and open debate because we live in a democracy and need to debate things and throw out, ideas that oppose each other, we have these sacred arenas, these sacred spaces where nobody can sue us for libel for what we say. Now, other things may happen to us. People may doubt our credibility, or we may get hit with, perjury claims if we lie about something in court, but we won't get hit with a libel claim. So if you are a senator on the floor of the Senate and you're saying wacky things about other senators, calling them liars, calling them, drunks or drug addicts, they can't sue you for libel. Now, other people may think you're crazy and you may damage your credibility and not get enough votes and not get reelected, etc. But it won't be libel. Now, if you as a senator leave that sacred arena and go outside and start yelling this on the street, then you could get hit with a claim of libel or slander. Qualified privilege is for those of us who are observing this stuff in the sacred arenas. Maybe you're a reporter and you're reporting on proceedings in a court or at a council meeting or something, and you hear all of these libelous things being said. It might be news for you to write about that. For example, if there's a senator who's flipping out and saying all these crazy things, yes, it's news. But you don't have lock-solid protection against libel. You have what's called qualified privilege. This basically means you're probably protected if you write about it in a way that's pretty restrained and doesn't give any more credence to the libel. Just uses it in a very restrained way to report on some of the things that are happening. But it's not lock solid, so just be aware of that. So what is another defense against libel? Fair comment and criticism. This is a place that you really need to know about because this really pertains to those of us who are using social media and posting on things like Yelp or Google reviews, etc. So you can talk about people, you can talk about restaurants and things like that if you're giving an opinion. So you can say that you hate a restaurant because it has the worst food in the world. Nobody can convince you or tell you that the food is good. It's your opinion. It's not about fact. It's about your own personal taste. You can go ahead and say that. You can say that you hate a certain designer's clothing or that, just things that are about opinion. But don't go saying something that's factual. Don't say that a business owner has shady business practices if you can't prove that, because that would either be true or false. Don't say that you don't like someone's cooking because you think they're drunk all the time. That's either true or false. So stick with opinion. And by the way, it's not good enough to say, I think so-and-so's drunk all the time. That's not opinion. You're sticking an I think in front of it, but you're still talking about something factual. So again, stick with things that are really about your opinion, that you do or you don't like certain things. Criticism also has to do with, we have to be able to write editorials and opinion pieces about those people in power. And we have to even be able to say that they're horrible, unqualified leaders. And, we're in a democracy, so we need to do that. So that's covered as well. All right. One more thing. If you are a public figure and you are trying to sue somebody for libel, you have to prove that that person who libeled you, the reporter or the person who posted on social media, had actual malice. You have to be able to prove that they totally abandon all regular proceedings for how we do good reporting, that they didn't talk to anybody to try to verify the thing that they said about you, that they just abandoned it all and kind of almost had it out for you. And I can see now that you can't see this, so I'm going to see if I can, nope, let me see. Anyway, I think you can't see on the screen. Here we go. There we go. One more thing, malice. Okay, there it is. So if a reporter writes something that's false, but they've really tried to find out the truth, then the person in power or the celebrity still can't sue them successfully for libel. All right, a few more things about libel. Let's take a look at a couple of examples, and I'm going to move this up again. Sorry, I didn't make this large enough. All right, so what if the potentially libel statement is in a news story? So something like this: a San Francisco father who stole his 3-year-old daughter after a court awarded custody of the child to her mother is being held on $500,000 bail. The problem with this is if you phrase it like this, and the San Francisco father who's being charged, being held, if he is found not guilty, you have libeled him in this. So you need to back away from this who stole. You need to say a San Francisco father who is being charged with stealing, or who something like that, so that you're talking about the fact that he's been charged with this, not that he actually factually stole the person. Remember, he's innocent until proven guilty, so be careful of your wording. What if it's in a review? Again, we just talked about how you can have your opinion, but something like this is not good enough. Things are looking up for Lindsay Lohan. She finally sobered up enough to work on another film. All right, here's the problem. You're not saying she's a bad actress. You're not saying anything like that. You're talking about sobering up. So the main thing is it true? That's your defense. Now, in the case of Lindsay Lohan, it actually might be true, and this actually might not be a libelous statement. But if we substituted another actress or public figure here, and you didn't actually know if they had, they hadn't been to rehab a million times, they hadn't been busted on drunk driving, then you would want to be really careful here and only comment on their body of work, whether it was good work, bad work, etc., but not talk about whether they were alcoholic. Hope that helps. I'm going to stop here because this is pretty long, and then I'll do some other videos for this.